It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 45. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, August 13th, 2023. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Dep Lewis Show, the show about video games and much more. So I hope you've had a great week since I've last talked to you on this podcast a week ago. Hope you played a lot of games, hope you had some fun. Hope some great grand things have happened to you over the course of your week. And welcome to the show. So today, I want to tell you some things to do at the beginning of this show, as always, to help the show out, a little more than just listening like you're doing right now. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. And then Patreon.com/DepLewisShow is the best place to follow, and I'll tell you more about that at the end of this episode. So for today's show, we have the three sections that we always do. The first section is the what I've been playing, what video games I've been playing over the course of the week since I last recorded a podcast. The second section is more of like the news or video game releases and just interesting video game things out there in the world that I want to bring to you on the show. And then the final section, the miscellaneous talk section, is going to be miscellaneous talk for you. So that can be whatever I want to talk about outside of the video game world. So usually some sports there, maybe some comedy, maybe a little bit of both this week. And you just got to find out. You got to stay here and listen to this great show, episode 45. So welcome to the show. That's the main thing I want to say. Welcome. So for today's show, this first section, we're going to talk about what I've been playing. And I haven't actually played a whole lot of games this week. It's been a busy week for me, doing some fun things. I've gone to some live sporting events. Work was kind of busy. I re-downloaded an old multiplayer game that I've been playing some, so that's kind of like the main thing I've been playing. But at the beginning of the week, I was playing some Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as I've been doing every week almost since May 12th, 2023, when the game released. So on the last episode, I was deciding what to do with all my rupees. I had over 7,000, I believe. I've now spent a significant chunk of that 7,000, so I'm back in the poorhouse, or semi-poorhouse, in Hyrule. I bought the Desert Voe armor, so I went to the secret shop in Gerudo City. I looked up the guide how to get there. You have to go through, and then you have to ascend up into it at a certain time, and then you can, well, not at a certain time, but you have to ascend up in there, and then you can buy this armor. I think the most difficult part was getting to this actual section of where to do this, but now I'm official. I have the Desert Voe armor that is heat resistant, so I can explore the desert now. So that's my whole plan. For next time booting this game up, I want to be exploring the desert and taking advantage of my heat resistant armor. So the first piece you buy when you're rolling up to Gerudo City, there is a bazaar outside, so there's like a shop outside, and they're selling the headband. So you can get the heat-resistant headband outside. And then as you go further along into the city and do the ascend into the shop, you can buy the shirt or whatever, the tunic, and then the pants. So you can get the full outfit, the 3 items that you need to wear for ultimate heat resistance in those 3 spots. And then that shop also sells 2 pairs of boots. I think they were 1,300 rupees a piece. And I believe they help you walk through sand quicker and then walk through snow quicker. So I picked both those up because I had the rupees, and I don't know when I'll be going back to that shop or what reason I would have for going back there since I bought the Desert Voe armor. So, Link is looking pretty cool in my game. I bought this stuff and haven't really played much since then. I plan on picking some more. I really do plan on playing some Zelda this week. I really was slacking on my video games last week, but I had a lot of fun. So my life needs to balance out this week where I'm doing a little more chilling and playing some more of these video games. So Legend of Zelda is still on my brain, most of the time when I'm thinking about video games, and it's a really great game, and you should go play it too. I can't really think of any other Zelda things to talk about out there besides that you should go play it, and it's going to be talked about in a lot of people's Game of the Year discussions, and I bet a lot of people are still playing it. And I know only one of my friends has completed it. I have like 4 or 5 friends playing this game, and only one has completed it, and he's pretty much quit playing it. And I think my other friends are pretty much a little bit at a standstill with it too. So a lot of hours spent on it though, regardless. Great game. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, so I alluded to playing a multiplayer game. I re-downloaded a multiplayer game that I've been playing, and that is Rocket League, the great game of soccer with cars. And I feel like I'm okay at Rocket League and getting back into it. I've been having some success, a little bit of a ramp up, trying to get back into the groove of it. But overall, I feel like I'm a pretty good Rocket Leaguer, and I think that's what really keeps me coming back with this. So I've been playing this on my Series X. I kind of want to download it, on my Switch and my PlayStation just for the heck of it, because it's been so much fun to play, and I should just try to play it more often. I really like the short matches. The gameplay is really simple, but it's challenging, and it's just super fun. I don't think you have to have online service to play this either, since it's a free-to-play game, so I think that's a good reason for me wanting to download these on my consoles, and just so I can Rocket League whenever I want to. So I've been having a lot of fun with this. I think there's like a season going on. There's like a season pass, and at some point, I played a good bit in the last few weeks, so I unlocked a good bit of things, but it was interesting. It seemed like a bunch of unlocks. It made me feel really good, like I got all this cool stuff, and then you really get down to the brass tacks and unlock the things, and you just get a few like little basic items or whatever, just a few items I didn't even equip to my car or use or whatever. But I guess it's cooler than not having it. But it seemed like I was like, man, I really accomplished a lot in this time, and I didn't really even know it. But the truth was I did not. And I don't know if that's based on the drops from the game or if I really just didn't play that much. But it seemed like I had unlocked a lot of the challenges. But whatever, I'm not playing the Rocket League for the season pass stuff. I've been using the same car style for pretty much the whole time I played Rocket League, and I'm just really used to it. So I think that's important to feel comfortable in this game. And Rocket League is great. Everyone knows that in the world. It's a very popular game. All age ranges can play it. I think it's free to play on any console you can play it on. You can download it for free, and then you can play the online. It lets you battle online for free since it's a free-to-play game. So it's a great game. If you've never played it, go try it out. It's a good game to play with friends. It's cross-platform, I believe, everywhere. Maybe don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I should continue playing this. So maybe I just don't know what I want to report on the Rocket League. I don't think there's any significant updates with it recently, and I don't know how much there is I can say about it if I keep playing it. But I'll just let you know if I'm keep playing it. Maybe one day we can play some Dep Lewis Show community on Rocket League or something like that. But Rocket League's been very fun. It's been taking up most of my time video gaming this week. It's just a great game for listening to music. I have a Spotify subscription going right now where I'm listening to music. Me and the Great Volunist have been, building a playlist, and he's been sharing some of his music, and I've been bumping that, playing Rocket League, and listening to podcasts as well. So it's a great game for that. I love having a game like that in my rotation, and that's pretty important for me because it's a really relaxing way to play some games, and it's just a really great combo of two things I like and I'm doing at the same damn time, as Future would say. All right, so that has been the main. What's the thing I want to say? Not the main ingredient, the main focus. It's been the main something. Those have been the main things I've been playing this week. It's been a pretty Rocket League heavy week with some Zelda at the beginning of the week or last weekend. I was playing that after recording the podcast, but I booted up a few other games this week, just messing around. I played some Elden Ring. I was trying to do that while listening to some music. I thought that was kind of interesting. I haven't really played any more Resident Evil 4 or Diablo 4 or Sonic. I'm trying to think, or Stardew Valley. I was getting into some Stardew Valley for a bit. I might have played a little bit of Stardew Valley in this last week. I saw the Nintendo Life did a video this week, which was interesting, of is Stardew Valley worth it on the Switch? And I was like, why are they releasing this video right now? Has there been an update or something? But you watch the video and they're going back through games they've missed over the course of their channel and want to review that they feel are important. So, and it was pretty much just telling you how awesome Stardew Valley is. So it was cool. Nintendo Life has a great YouTube channel, so go check them out sometime. But those have been the games I've been playing this week. I don't know what next week will bring for me with video games. Most likely The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, maybe some more Rocket League, and I don't know if I'm going to get hooked back onto one of these other games I've been playing, but I have a lot of games from this year that I haven't played as much of as I would like, and there's probably some new stuff out, and just all sorts of options. But hopefully this week I'll have some more time, and I'm actually going out of town this upcoming weekend, and that's a good point too. Let's bring this up right now for next week's podcast. it's either going to be out early or it's going to be out late on Sunday. I think is the plan. I haven't really thought about it up until earlier this morning. I'm going somewhere Friday, Saturday, and I'll be back Sunday. So I'll be able to prepare the podcast. I just don't know. I think realistically, I'll probably be recording it later on the day on Sunday. So just be aware of that. Mr. World Famous Show out here. Gotta let all the millions of listeners know, what's going on so they can expect when to get their video game fix and their news from the Dep Lewis Show. So that's going to wrap up the first section of this show for today on episode 45. We're going to come back for the mid-section. We're going to smoke on some mid and talk about what I've been seeing across the video game landscape, across the video game universe, across the video game... Oh, what's another word? I'm slacking on my adjectives and synonyms, I guess, are what they're called today. But, it's a work in progress. So go take a quick break and come back for the mid-section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 45, in just a bit. Welcome back to the mid-section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 45. This is where I tell you about all the cool things around the video game world from this week that I found that I thought were interesting. So let's see what we have today. We have a presentation. We have some DLC to talk about. We have a release. We have an announcement. We have a port. And then we have a remaster. So a lot of cool stuff to talk about this week that you're going to want to listen to. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about this week was something I talked about last week that was going to happen, is the Pokemon Presents. And this occurred on Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. It was 35 minutes of brand new Pokemon announcements. The main things I thought were interesting were Detective Pikachu returns, gets a new trailer. Detective Pikachu will allow you to investigate various crime scenes. It arrives October 6, 2023, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. So this first release in this series was on the 3DS. I never played Detective Pikachu, but it seemed really good, and maybe I'll be interested in this. This comes out in October. There's a double day in October. October 20th is Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Spider-Man 2 Day. So October is a jam-packed month with video games. But Detective Pikachu looks cool, and go check out that new trailer. Another announcement in the Pokemon Presents was the Pokemon Trading Card Game and Pokemon Stadium 2 are now available on Nintendo Switch Online. The Pokemon Trading Card Game is for regular NSO Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, and you need NSO Plus, the expansion pack, for Pokemon Stadium 2. So if you want to play that Pokemon Stadium 2, you need to have the expansion pack. And the price difference between those, it's $20 annually for the base Nintendo Switch Online, and I think it's $50 or $60 for the expansion pack. But there is a lot of good content in the expansion pack. It's just whether or not you're going to play it or not. And they do add stuff to it from time to time to entice people to subscribe. But I'm kind of leaning towards, I think it's seeming worth the value, or it's seeming like a good value. Where if you paid for it, you'd be pretty happy because they release some cool stuff to it from time to time. So I don't know, something else I'm thinking about. So go play those on Nintendo Switch Online if you have those right now. All right, some news from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Mew and Mewtwo are coming to both of those games, and all you have to do, you can do this right now, is enter the password GetYourMew, so GetYourMew in the mystery gift menu in Scarlet or Violet. The password's only valid until September 18th, 2023. I've been kind of flirting with the idea of playing some Pokemon. I've been wanting to play it since last year, since it released, but it had all the technical issues, and I don't know if they really cleared those up. But there's this DLC coming later in the year. There's this Mew and Mewtwo, which I love them. And I'm into looking for like a relaxing kind of game at this point, and I think it could be perfect for that. So I don't know. And it's been on sale, so you could hear me purchasing Pokemon sometime soon. It's just been hard to purchase a Nintendo game with having Zelda going on still has been the hang up for me. But Mew and Mewtwo are coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they're there right now. Some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news. As the first DLC for these games arrives next month. It's called the Teal Mask, and it's the first of 2 paid DLC expansions. The Teal Mask arrives on September 13th, 2023, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. And then, so that was the main video game news from the Pokemon Presents. There was also some news of a couple like animated series and web series mentioned here too, so you might want to go check those out if that's something you would watch. So go check out the stream of the Pokemon Presents on YouTube, or go check out IGN. They have some good summaries on their website as always for what happened during these shows and links to everything. So the Pokemon Presents, nothing too earth-shattering from my perspective. I do like the prospects. I guess that's not the right word. I have some good hope for Detective Pikachu Returns coming out. I'd like to maybe play that. And then maybe this is some good reason to get in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I just don't know what to... I have a really low expectation for the technical side of things, and I just don't know how much that's going to hamper my experience. But, who knows? You never know until you try. Okay, so what else have I been seeing? Continue on smoking our mid this week. One other thing I've been seeing is Street Fighter 6 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been collabing, and they got some DLC in the game. So right now, this is something that seems very pricey, and that was there's a lot of articles being written about this right now, but it's $15 a piece to get Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello costumes in Street Fighter 6. So I'm guessing you can buy these costumes, you can apply them to any of the characters, would be my guess. I don't know if you're getting since it calls it a costume, I don't know if, it's not a whole new fighter putting new characters into Mortal Kombat or something. That is just my take on this. The 4 turtle skins arrived in the game's Battle Hub on August 8th, 2023, costing 750 fighter coins apiece. So this article was stating how big of a jump that is over the 50 coins needed to unlock each of the main cast alternative costumes. So they're making you pay for these turtle costumes if you want them. Alright, I was trying to think. I was about to say, I don't know if there's an option to buy all these in one that gives you a discount on them, but it doesn't seem like it. So I guess it's just it's not fun to say is what it is, but, whatever. If you want those, go get them right now. I don't know how enticed I am to do it. I am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, but I haven't really been playing Street Fighter 6 too much, which has been surprising, because I was very excited for it. I just don't know if I'm in a fighting state of mind these days, a fighting game state of mind, but let's keep going with this Street Fighter 6 and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that leads into some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff I want to talk about real quick. There's a new movie that's out called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. So I figured this would be a good place to talk about it instead of in the miscellaneous section, since we're already talking about turtles. This is the new Turtle movie that released August 2nd, 2023. Had a $70 million budget. One of my friends was just bringing this up this week, so I was just wanting to check out some details and possibly watch this at some point. I'm not a big movie theater goer, but I do like to watch some things at home from time to time. So this movie, just to give you a synopsis, after years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. Their new friend April O'Neil helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. So a new movie. I haven't really heard too many reviews about it. I think it's got Seth Rogen in it. Maybe just doing a voice, or I don't know if he's a character, but I don't know. Go check it out right now if you're interested. Alright, the last bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles news in this midsection. There is TMNT The Last Ronin. This is a new video game coming, so pretty cool. Revealed during THQ Nordic's recent showcase. It's based on the 2020 miniseries from some of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles creators. And the game stars Michelangelo as the sole survivor of his mutant family. So that's pretty interesting right there. I'm just thinking right now, it's interesting they don't let you choose which one you would want to pick as the sole survivor. That could be pretty interesting, but maybe the game is going to be way more specific to Michelangelo, and maybe Michelangelo is a fan favorite more so than I'm recognizing, but it's kind of interesting that you're not able to play the different turtles, but it does say you're armed with the weapons of his brother, so that's going to mimic some of the gameplay, I guess, of the other turtles and satisfy that, but I don't know. But then the next article in this says Mikey, which is funny they're calling him Mikey. Mikey makes his way through a post-apocalyptic New York to finally bring an end to the Foot Clan, who've controlled the city for years. So this is described as a third-person action RPG in the vein of, they're saying in the vein of Sony's recent God of War game. So that was one article I read. I don't know if that was a quote from the devs or just from the journalist, but it says they're aiming for an older audience apparently with this game too. It won't be out for a couple years, or another couple years, but something to look forward to. So really cool announcement. They have the turtles are pretty hot right now. I think this is a cool concept for a game, and I'll definitely be interested to see it. It's weird. It seems almost like a Dark Knight take on the turtles. They're trying to be a little bit darker and more serious and grown. So we'll see how that is, and I'll keep you updated on this show, as always, on all the latest, greatest and what's another word? Yeah, I'm really struggling on my words today. Latest and greatest and most exceptional games out there in the world. All right, so let's keep on going down what's been going on. So we talked about the Pokemon Presents. We talked about that Street Fighter 6 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle news. Another game has been revealed, and it's called South Park Snow Day. This is coming in 2024, so something you have to wait for until next year. I was excited when this trailer started booting up, and then I was unexcited is not the right word, but I lost my excitement when it was said to be a 3D co-op multiplayer game. Its publisher is THQ Nordic. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, so no love to the past gen. It focuses on Cartman and the crew as they celebrate not having school for the day, thanks to the inclement weather of the snow coming down, giving them some freedom. And it appears to be fantasy inspired, as Cartman is shown wearing his Grand Wizard King costume, with other children in the trailer are shown wearing fantasy-inspired outfits. You can see Cartman like shooting spells out of a wand in the snow. Looked like a really epic snowball fight, but with like spells and things like that. I think I really like South. Well, I don't think I like South. I really like South Park. I like the games that were released for South Park. The two previous, they were kind of like RPG side-scrolly kind of games. And I played a lot of the first ones, and I don't even know if I played the second one, but they were pretty interesting. And I was kind of thinking this was going to be one of those games, but people loving the 3D co-op multiplayer games. I don't know if it's just because I'm an older gamer and, been around the block a lot with these games, that this recent trend is not something I'm into, but or just the time in my life or the type of games I'm playing. I'm just not sure, but this influx of these these co-op multiplayer games is very interesting. There's a lot of them, and it's something that I do not feel related, or not related to, but into in any way, shape, or form, really. But it's cool to report it, and I hope it'll be a good game. And that's South Park Snow Day. Okay, another announcement from this week is Modern Warfare 3. So this is I've been a Call of Duty fan for a long time. It's been, some of my favorite games have been Call of Duty. Activision has confirmed this year's Call of Duty. It will be a direct sequel to last year's game. The release date will be November 10th, 2023. You can watch the 41-second teaser that has been released, and this is they've also confirmed, after some confusion, this is going to come to last gen as well. So PS4 and Xbox One will still be able to play the Call of Duty this year. So last year's game was really great. I definitely got a good couple months of gameplay out of it. I had a couple of my friends buy the game, which was fun, and we played together, but everyone fell off of it, after that initial couple months, like completely. So I don't have any friends that continually playing this. I don't know if it's a great sales pitch to have another game, just a year later to jump in again, because I would want to argue why haven't I been playing the other game at all. So I don't know if I'll be buying this, but I would say last year's game was very high quality, and if I was a gamer who's mainly just playing Call of Duty or a few other games, I would be excited that they're going right to Modern Warfare 3, and going to have some new stuff for them to play in the fall. So I think that's a pretty solid, smart decision on Call of Duty's part, and I'll be interested to see where they're going to go next year for what they're going to do. I guess they go back to Black Ops is what it'll be, but I don't know. Call of Duty will be around in some form or fashion, it seems like, for a very long time. Okay, some more announcements. These next two announcements are for the Nintendo Switch, a great handheld and television-capable console, a hybrid console, if you will. So it has been announced that Rockstar's iconic game, Red Dead Redemption, the first game, the first entry, there's two of these, but this is Red Dead 1, is coming to Switch, and it's coming to PS4. So it's never been on PS4, I guess, which seems a little confusing. It was on PS3 back in the day, and I guess it's not backwards compatible is what the issue is, but I'm not sure. But either way, it's definitely coming to Switch for the first time, and a lot of people have been talking about how the price on this is outrageous, and I tend to agree with them. This is up for pre-order right now. It's $49.99. There's been no substantial work being done to enhance this game, which is not not knocking the quality of the game, because I think this game probably still holds up great and is a great game. But them reselling this game, it's not being, I wouldn't even say it's being remastered, retouched. It's really just kind of a port, it seems like, moving it over to the Switch. It's great to have some games on Switch. You never played it, could be a great time to jump in. One positive argument for it comes bundled with the Undead Nightmare DLC, which is probably one of the top rated or favorite DLCs of all time, and across games, it's at least one of the most notable and popular ones out there. It would have to be. and it comes included with this, which that's nice. This new release of this old game comes out on October 13th, 2023. So in a very busy month, like we've been talking about. And I think it was a podcast I was listening to was talking about, unless you just really want to play this handheld or don't have another console, that Xbox Series X and I guess maybe PC, but Xbox Series X is definitely a great way to play this, because you can play the game through backwards compatibility, and you're going to get the boost from Xbox Series X. The hardware automatically will boost these old games and make them look better just from booting them up and on your new console. So that's pretty cool, and probably the best way to go play this game if you're really wanting to, unless you're just really a big Switch, or I guess if you're just a PS4 owner. I don't really understand the PS4 release part of this, but I mean, obviously it wasn't there before is what I need to take away from this. So Red Dead Redemption coming to Nintendo Switch October 13th, 2023. Another game that is coming to Switch, and this one has seemed more favorable, is actually deemed a remaster, is Quake 2. Quake 2 has been remastered on the Switch. It's not a series or a game I have much familiarity with besides just kind of the name recognition. The acclaimed, this is what the game's trying to sell you on. The acclaimed first-person shooter gets enhanced for Nintendo Switch that introduced an entirely new science fiction narrative and setting. It's touted as a military sci-fi first-person shooter. Experience the enhanced and complete version of the classic game from 1998. It's developed by id Software. This version has HD widescreen resolution support, enhanced models, improved enemy animations and gore, improved and restored AI behaviors, enhanced cinematics, dynamic and colored lighting, anti-aliasing, depth of field, the original heavy rock soundtrack by Sonic Mayhem, and more. So those are all the kind of things you want to see in an old game getting brought to a new console. A little bit of work, and that seems like that was a decent bit of work. So, pretty lazy on the Red Dead Redemption coming to Switch. I guess just the fact of that game. If it was Red Dead 2 on the Switch and they didn't do anything to it, I would be impressed. I would be impressed the game's on there. Red Dead 1 is an Xbox 360 game. I would think it'd be able to run on there, and I don't know. I guess they've been thinking, I don't know. I'm just talking back and forth with myself here, but Red Dead Redemption seems like it should run pretty decently on the Switch, but what do I know? I'm not a game dev. I'm just this guy on the internet who talks about the video games. But back to Quake 2, the remaster on the Switch. It is for only $9.99, which is a great price, and is available as of now. If you're listening in real time, it came out August 10th, 2023. So go check out Quake 2 right now if you want to have some nostalgia, and it seems like it's been updated to function pretty well in modern game timing. So pretty nice. A cool little surprise. So that's going to wrap up the mid section this week. We smoked through all our mids. So we talked about the Pokemon Presents. We talked about Street Fighter 6 and TMNT, and then some other TMNT news, some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We talked about South Park Snow Day being revealed, Modern Warfare 3 announcement, Red Dead Redemption 1, the first game in that series, is coming to Switch and PS4. Quake 2 Remaster is now on Switch and available to purchase right now. And that's all the great news I have for you this week. So we are going to wrap up this mid section. We're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back for the final section of the show today. And we're going to talk some sports. That's what I got for you. I mentioned earlier we have some comedy, but I was just, I guess that was a joke. Or it was more of a lie, I guess is what you would call it. But it was just a mistake is what it was, so please forgive me. So we're going to talk some sports in this final section. I've been to some sporting events, a couple of them since the last time I talked on this show. So I want to tell you about that, and tell you about the best team in the world and the best sport in the world, Major League Baseball and the Atlanta Braves. So that is going to be the focus. So go take a quick break. I'm not going to tell you stuff to do today because I'm tired of being bossy right now. And I'm just going to say go have a quick, nice break and come back and listen to the final section of this show after this lovely music from friend of the show and friend of real life Ballness. Well, welcome back to the final section of the best show you'll ever know, the Dep Lewis Show, episode 45. This is the miscellaneous talk section. This is where I can talk about whatever I want to outside of the video game world. So we have one topic for you today, and that is the worldwide world of sports. So the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers, I want to say the first thing to them is extend Brian Burns, give that man a contract. And hey, I want to say maybe extend Jeremy Chin as well. Let's get these guys wrapped up so they can stay on the team and anchor this defense and be a huge part of the defense for a long time to come. That's my wish, and that's what I want to say out there in the world. So, Mr. Tepper, I know you're listening. Please extend those guys this week, and I'll be very happy. And that's what needs to be known. So I actually went to see the Panthers play this week. They had a preseason game versus the Jets at Bank of America Stadium. It was very inexpensive to get in, which was nice. I had to sit up way at the top, though, and that was affecting I have a little bit of a fear of heights, and took a little bit to get used to that, but it's a pretty good view all around that stadium, which is nice. I was sitting behind the end zone, so that was an interesting look at the game. It was kind of fun watching the punts and the kicks happen through that. I've never been to an NFL game before. Well, that's not true. I've been to one NFL game way back in the day when the Panthers first started. They played in South Carolina at the Clemson Arena, Death Valley, and I saw them, but I was like a little kid at that point. So I've never been to an NFL game. So now I've been to Fan Fest, and I've been to a preseason game. So a pretty good taste of what it's going to be like. And I have a ticket for the Panthers are playing their Monday night game. I think it's the home opener against the Saints. That's the first game of the season I'm going to go to, and then hopefully I can make it to some more and go check out what the Panthers are going to do in the NFC South. But I got to say, after watching this preseason game, maybe just thinking about it a little bit more, and taking a step back from the hype of the draft, I think I need to lower my expectations a little bit here. You can't base everything off one preseason game, but the Panthers got beat 27-0. Brian Burns wasn't playing. Miles Sanders wasn't playing. I think those were the two main guys missing. It was fun to see Horn out there, Chin, Derek Brown, Xavier Woods, Shaq Thompson, Mr. Frankie Louvu. I'm trying to think of other defenders. Mr. Von Bell. All those guys. It seems great, and having Burns in there, it's going to be fun to watch them really playing. But it just wasn't going too well for them. They were going against Bryce Wilson, so it's not like he had a really bad season, but he's not like a fresh person to the league, so you're not playing like a complete inexperienced person. And they actually played him for a good bit. They played Bryce Young for a few series. I've been wondering why they didn't play him more, but I think it's kind of like the C.J. Stroud argument. You just want to kind of give him a taste right now. You don't want to risk having a bad experience. Bryce made a couple good throws. He didn't really make any too big of crucial errors. He got sacked once. Matt Corral came in and got sacked once too. I think Bryce Wilson got sacked. So, nothing too crazy there. But, Bryce Young, I don't know if there was too much to report out of this. Hopefully we'll get to see some more of him in the preseason. I don't think I'll go to any more of the preseason games. I'll just try to maybe watch them on TV if possible. I think they have one more at home at the Bank of America Stadium, but I just don't know. I'm thinking a little bit in more rebuilding terms right now than anything. So it does kind of go against my argument of, paying Brian Burns, paying Chin. I don't know if they're going to see how the season's going, but, we do have a lot of people on short deals. Adam Thielen on 2. I think Chark's on 1. I think Sanders is on 2 or something. I'm trying to think of other receivers. Hayden Hurst, I don't know. But I just don't know. I'm just thinking Bryce Young's going to need more time to develop is kind of what I'm thinking. I hope not, but we're going to see. Hoping for more. I have a friendly wager with a friend, and I think we put the over and under on 9 wins. So I don't know. We'll see if we can get there, and hopefully I'll be back positive next week on the Panthers. But I went to check them out in the preseason. Great time all around going to the game. All that was very fun. It was fun seeing the guys out there. I am just a fan of these people in general. I'm just trying to be realistic on my expectations of what I think is going to happen between the lines in the actual season, and just try to be, outside of being a fan. I've got fantasy football coming up soon too, and I need to stay away from picking the Panthers because I tend to just try to pick all the Panthers and really set that as my team's identity. And I haven't gotten over the mountaintop in fantasy football yet. I've been really close a few times, and I want to try to do my best. So we will see. It's a new era in Carolina. That's kind of how I need to think about it, and kind of, I guess, how I'm thinking about it right now. So those are my Carolina Panthers thoughts for this week. So some more Charlotte, Carolina news going on. I went to some Charlotte Knights games this week, and that is because they were playing the Gwinnett Stripers, the AAA team of the Atlanta Braves, the best team in the universe. So they've been playing them since Tuesday. I think they played Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's actually a game going on today. So I made it 2 of these. I saw AJ Smith-Shawver the first night, which was really fun. And then I'm trying to think who else I saw. I wanted to see Vaughn Grissom, which was nice. Braden, I think it's Braden Shoemake, is the shortstop. I saw him hit an absolute bomb to right field, which was fun. And they were really working the Charlotte Knights. So, I'm a semi-Charlotte Knight fan since I'm, living in North Carolina now and I've been to a few of these games. But, I'm a Braves fan first. I wore a Knights hat to the game, so I didn't really rep the Braves. I was just trying to keep it low key around there, trying to blend in. But Gwinnett's been rocking them all week, so that's been really interesting to see. Just all sorts of bombs, and the Knights haven't been able to keep up. But I'm thinking of this AAA thing as later in the season goes on. I think Vaughn Grissom's a pretty big outlier here of players you wouldn't normally see in AAA at this time. I guess most of the time they're going to either be called up earlier in the season, or they're being deemed more of a little bit of a project or young. But Vaughn Grissom's batting over 300. The Braves do have that the new guy they traded for playing shortstop. I don't know. I wonder if they do call up Vaughn for the second this final portion of the season at some point, or even Shoemake. I guess that guy's a shortstop too, or a infielder. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I don't know. I don't know how often these how many more besides injury related things are players getting called up at the end of the season. I guess maybe minus someone you're developing. So who knows? Maybe I talked myself into seeing Grissom get called up. But he definitely looked like a big leaguer out there. He's just kind of a big guy in general. And he was on base all the time, and he's batting over 300. And I think it was looking pretty promising. So that was nice to see, and it was fun to see as a Braves fan. I was there for Andrew Jones night, but I didn't really get any eyes on Andrew Jones. But there was a ton of fans lined up to see him. There was a ton of Braves fans in that ballpark that night. And there was a good bit of crossover between Knights and Braves fans, so I guess that makes sense too, that a lot of North Carolina people are probably Braves fans in general. So very fun. Probably won't go to any of those games for a little while unless there's a random one here or there. Still a couple more months of those going on, but I've been to a good amount of those this season, and it was nice to get to see them play the Braves AAA team. So that was just an interesting thing from this week. So I had a lot of good live sports this week. I went to see baseball and I went to see football. And this week I'm traveling, so a lot of stuff going on in my life over here. So let's just talk to wrap up this miscellaneous talk section about the actual best team in the universe, the Atlanta Braves. And they really are the best team in Major League Baseball, which is super fun as well. So last week there was their third game against the Cubs at Sunday at 2. So that was after the podcast last week, and the Braves lost to the Cubs 6-4 to end the week. So that was a tough way to end the week, and one of my friends was talking a lot of trash to me on that. So the Braves moved on. This past week they moved on to Pittsburgh versus the Pirates. They were up there in Pittsburgh against the Pirates, and they won 2 out of 4 against the Pirates, which I don't know. I think you'd want to probably get 3 of those at least against Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh is no slouch. The Braves also, they put up 25 runs over these 4 games, so that's a pretty great total. Braves have really been hammering some runs this week, and that continued in this next series against the Mets. So the Braves are 3-3 against the Mets so far this week in New York. There was a doubleheader on Saturday. The first game in the doubleheader on Saturday, Braves won 21-3. And so the Braves have put up 34 runs so far over these 3 games against the Mets. And so yesterday was 21-3, and then I think the second game was 6-0. So pretty demoralizing day for the Mets. They have some people that are injured, so they're not fielding their best lineup. But they've traded people away. They traded Scherzer, and they've had a very, very disappointing season. But really good to see the Braves beating the Mets, and they have one more opportunity to do that today. The game's actually tonight, though. So if you're listening in real time, final game of the week is the Braves versus the Mets tonight at 7:10. So hopefully the Braves can get another win here. Even if not, just being realistic, they have done more than enough against the Mets this series to feel good going into next week, and just continue this season feeling positive, feeling in a good spot, and hopefully just keep it rolling tonight as well. Why not? Is the other thing. Why not? All right, so next week the Braves are at home versus the Yankees, which is interesting. I always love seeing some matches against the Yankees going across the leagues and playing the Bronx Bombers. And then the Braves are at home versus the Giants. So really great week, really tough matchups. Those teams are good. I would say the Braves are better, but these teams can definitely get some wins. So I will not be discounting any of these games all week. So I can hope the Braves probably go half and half would be my hope. Hopefully, it can be over 500 would be a goal, and going over that would be surprising and would be nice. But there's no game Thursday for next week, so you can check out the Braves next week against the Yankees and the Giants, and that's what I'll be doing. And what else will I be doing? I'll be getting ready for the football season, and I'll be continuing to watch the baseball, and that's the main plan for me. And that is going to wrap up the miscellaneous talk section of this show today. So that was, sports talk. Dep Lewis Show sports talk was the whole miscellaneous talk section today. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And there will definitely be some more sports talk next week because I love the sports. This is always the perfect place to talk about them each week and tell you some sports things that I find interesting that are fun to me. So just thank you as always for listening to this section, all the things I got to say, and the show as a whole. I really appreciate you. This has been episode 45 of the Dep Lewis Show. I want to reiterate some things from the beginning, just some self-promotion stuff so you can help me out here on the internet to get my numbers up and you get some more attention to people listening to this podcast so they can get the best video game news and thoughts each week, which is very vital and important, to having a great gaming life. You want to get some cool information. You want something to listen to while you play games. The Dep Lewis Show is the perfect place for you. So just make sure you're following Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Please like, subscribe, rate, comment great things or even negative things, whatever you want, critiques, positives, even your own thoughts on games. Put those down there, please. Review my podcast, turn on notifications, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a bird, tell a dog, tell a cat, tell a squirrel, tell anybody you want to that can press play on a podcast or somehow do it. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. If I get some great entries, I can read them on the podcast, discuss them, and get your opinions out there so you're not just hearing all the Dep Lewis Show opinions. We can get some more included on this show. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more. My Buzzsprout page should be available anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. On the Buzzsprout page is a great hub for you to find all the places it's available. Clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok. I've been taking a little break from doing clips because I've just been focusing on getting this podcast out. I've been busy, so I've just been making sure I want to get a good podcast out for you each week. And those have been falling to the wayside a little bit, but those will be back. I do enjoy putting those out each week and getting some feedback and letting people, have some more insight and some more visuals into getting into the Dep Lewis Show. And then twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show, another great place to follow. I haven't been on a stream schedule yet. I was starting to, but I need to get into a place where I can do that. So I've been trying to do some sporadic streaming until I can get hooked down to a schedule. And then patreon.com, last thing I want to tell you about, patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show. That is the best way to support the show in its greatest form. There is a $1 a month for the ground floor tier. It's a general support tier for the show. Also get ad-free versions of Dep Lewis Show's off series on there and the songs created by Dep Lewis Show, so that's a perk. And then this is for the first 100 subscribers only. The price will never change, and you'll have access to all Dep Lewis Show Patreon content always. So as the channel grows, you'll be getting access to that content through this ground floor tier forever. So this is an investment for your entertainment future. So that's the last little bit of self-promotion I want to do. Just want you to be aware of all the great ways to follow the show. Or if you want to tell somebody about it, you have many outlets to tell them how to engage with the show. And I just appreciate all that you do. I appreciate you for pressing play. I appreciate you for listening to anything. I appreciate you for watching a clip, even if it's only for 5 seconds, because it's all helpful to me and it's fun to do. And just thank you for being a great listener out there of the Dep Lewis Show. This is going to wrap up the whole show today, episode 45. And hope you have a wonderful week. That's all I want to say. And I'll be back next week for episode 46. Have a great week out there, and thank you for listening to the Dep Lewis Show, as always.